Okay, let's look at the formal definition of the absolute value of a real number. The formal definition of the absolute value of a real number states that the absolute value of x is equal to x if x is greater than or equal to 0, or the absolute value of x is equal to negative x if x is less than 0. So let's look at how we can use this to evaluate the absolute value of a number. Say I have the absolute value of negative 3. So the absolute value of negative 3, it's equal to, I go to this sort of flowchart idea. Let's look. So my x value is negative 3. It's not greater than 0. Negative 3 is, of course, less than 0. So I'm in this portion right here of the definition. So the absolute value of x will be equal to negative x. So let's write that out. Negative 3. Which from Algebra 1 we know that negative 3 is just equal to 3. So that was for this first example of negative 3. Let's look at how it interprets the absolute value of a positive number. Let's say the absolute value of 5. So in this case x is 5. So we're up here at this part. 5 is of course greater than or equal to 0. So I'm going to put a little blue mark here and a little blue mark here to indicate that this is where we're located in the definition. 5 is greater than 0, so the absolute value of 5 is simply equal to 5. And there's one more case that we're obviously interested in when it comes to real numbers. We're always interested in positive real numbers, negative real numbers, and the other special case is 0, which is neither positive nor negative. So the absolute value of 0, and I'll put this in let's say a grayish color. Gray meaning, 0 is kind of a gray area, whether it's positive or negative. So the absolute value of 0, I see that 0 is greater than or equal to 0, so it fits into this first column. So the absolute value of 0 is of course equal to 0. And again, this formal definition of the absolute value of a real number amounts to the same thing. Look at the number and ignore its sign. So if I have absolute value of negative 3, the absolute value of negative 3 is 3. The absolute value of 5 is 5, and the absolute value of 0 is 0.